Melissa Clement. She's the executive director of Nevada Right to Life, and she combines a lifetime of a passion for politics and a deeply imbued need to stand for the most vulnerable among us. Tune in for the next part of the series.
When people actually sit and think about what we're talking about, an abortion is the willful destruction of an innocent preborn baby who would live otherwise.
Yeah.
It's not a miscarriage. It's not anything like that. It's
Right.
not an ectopic pregnancy. It's the willful destruction of a child.
Right.
And when that clicks in their mind, suddenly they want to do something about that. And so the left is out there pushing to get this into state constitutions so that we as the public can never change it unless, unless millions and millions of dollars in 5 years. It is the greatest assault on life, but it's also an assault on democracy.
Yeah, it is an assault on democracy. You're absolutely right. And you're right. Once they can get this enshrined in Constitution law, it's really hard to get it overturned and taken out again. So let's talk about this reproductive rights. Well, there's two of them. There's the Reproductive Freedom Amendment, and then there's also a Reproductive Rights Amendment. So can you tell what can you tell us about these?
Sure thing. So the one thing we know for sure is there will be a chance to vote on whether you care about the preborn or whether you care about abortion on this in November.
Yes.
Period.
Great simplification there.
Yeah. What we don't know is the exact wording.
Okay.
And so currently the Planned Parenthood put out a very vague and broad question, and it was reproductive freedom, which includes but is not limited to birth control, IVF, abortion care, miscarriage care, all this kind of stuff.
Okay. That's the Freedom Amendment.
That's the Freedom
Amendment.
We Nevada Right to Life sued on that.
Okay.
And fortunately, the district court said, yeah, that's overbroad and that's too many. That's vague. Okay. And there's no funding mechanism.
Gotcha.
So they are not getting signatures on that one.
Okay.
Right now.
So that's not moving forward now.
It's been appealed and it's going to the Supreme Court of Nevada, and they will decide whether or not that wording is okay. That is their preferred wording. Okay. So if they can get that, that's what they'll do. Okay. As soon as we won, though, the Planned Parenthood just put in another set of language, and it was basically abortion is a fundamental right. And so it's limited to abortion. They were able to get that through district court. Okay. And so they are getting signatures. They have to get 103,000 before June 24th.
Yes. Okay. And so those are the people that we see with clipboards out in the parking lots and at different places in our community. Right. And they're trying to get 103,000 signatures. Is that correct?
Yeah. So 103,000 that work, that pass the muster. So I think their goal is 217,000.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So they're really working hard right now to get this brought up so that it comes to a vote with all of Nevadans. Now, what are some things that we can do? Well, actually, I love the strategy that you've come up with, the do not sign strategy, which is, hey, if you see these people gathering signatures, go talk to them and engage them in conversation, because the longer they're talking to you, the less time that they're gathering signatures, right?
Correct.
And then not only that, we want to waste their time as much as possible.
Yes.
Because that way they're not out gathering other signatures. And we can also talk to the store managers, right? And say, hey, just so you know, you have someone in your parking lot that's gathering signatures for a political campaign that I don't agree with. Right. And I don't think they should be doing that. And then they can shut them down that way too.
Right. And there's only one other group of people that hate these petition signature gatherers more than me, and that is grocery store managers.
Oh, really?
Because they do not want them there. They do not want them in the parking lot. Okay. And so, Pastor Phil, exactly. Everybody should spend a lot of time with these people lovingly.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Curiously. Yes. Lots of time. And then also, as you're doing this, if you can record it, great. We would love to see the videos of the lies, because it's amazing the lies that they're telling.
Wow. Okay.
I had somebody tell me that birth control pills will not be allowed if we don't have this in our Constitution. Absolutely not. I've heard IVF is somehow going to be affected. It will not. I also had, they've said women's health, all kinds of things. Those gatherers, they're not from here. They're being paid, and they will say whatever it takes to get a signature on there. Right. Wow. Our next campaign is going to be, I signed what? And so we think we've got a good reason, a good follow up to this.
Okay.
Because I personally talked to somebody who is very pro-life and is Catholic, as a matter of fact, who said yesterday, well, I signed it because, birth control pills. We don't want them to take away other people's birth control pills.
Oh no.
And I'm
oh my goodness. So they were actually tricked by these people.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man.
So but we think we've got something to fight that back.
Yeah. And just to be clear, from a Christian ethics standpoint, we're not against birth control. We're not against in vitro fertilization methods. There are some clarifications that need to be made if we're going to do that, because we do recognize the sanctity of life, and so every fertilized egg must be implanted in the womb. And so you need to do your due diligence. And I'm going to actually do a podcast on that a little later on. I'll be talking about some of those nuances, but they're very important ethical situations that we need to be considering as Christians. But as far as the abortion goes, this is something that we are united on with Catholics, with anybody that values life. And so I'm very thankful for all of the Catholics and the work that they've done. They've in many ways been ahead of the ball game on this. They've been way ahead of evangelical Christians in thinking through all of these things and going to battle. I'm very thankful for them. But yeah, you bring up some great points here. There's other things that we can do too, besides not just signing. We need to get the word out, don't we? We need to tell friends and family.
Absolutely.
And what else? What are some other things that we can be doing?
Well, first of all, it's important that everybody learns what the current law in Nevada is. Yeah. This is imperative because they will be spending $10 million, and I'm not even exaggerating. I'm kind of being conservative. In the last months of the campaign on television, telling people a wide variety of lies. So the best antidote to lies is what? Truth.
Amen.
And so know the truth. And then know what this amendment is going to do, because it's going to do 4 very bad things. First of all, it takes out the doctor requirement, and it replaces it. So, and when by doctor requirement, the person who can do an abortion in Nevada currently has to be a licensed physician.
Okay.
They're going to change that to a licensed provider of healthcare, and that is anything from a nurse, EMT. Music therapist, marriage and family therapist, and athletic trainer.
Essentially making it more dangerous.
More dangerous to women, more dangerous to
they care about these ladies, but then they're going to remove the care from a licensed physician and just say, well,
free for all.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just, it's hypocritical.
Unsafe for women. Number 2, they will close the door on parental notification and parental involvement forever. Wow. Not only on abortion, but very possibly could be on gender dysphoria, that kind of thing. Right. So
it all goes together.
It all goes together. The third thing is it is up to the moments of birth. And so that's even those horrific and barbaric up to 9 months dismemberment abortions, long past the time when a baby can feel pain.
Yeah.
So that and that is those are just 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
And I'm forgetting the 4th.
Yeah. Well, I'm still upset when I hear that. I mean, it causes me to be upset. I have anger and it's a righteous anger, because we're talking about someone who is not able to defend themselves in any other situation of the law. This person we would be right to defend that person, whatever actions we took to save that innocent, defenseless person from being treated that way, dismembered in that way, murdered in that way.
Yes.
That would be the right thing to do. But for some reason, if this person just happens to be inside of the uterus, oh, well, they're fair game. And that just, oh man, it bothers me so deeply. And that's why we're having this conversation. We're hoping that you, our audience that's hearing this, is also going to just be moved by this. And we really need to see the people in our community stand up against this evil and right this wrong.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
You didn't happen to remember that 4th thing while I was ranting there, did you?
I will in a minute.
Okay.
It's, the other thing is that there is no protection for a woman from being coerced. We find that close to 70% of women who get an abortion were coerced by somebody close in their life, or a boss, a coach, a pimp. And there is just absolutely no protection. And quite honestly, the protection that is provided in this amendment is for an abortionist, not the baby, obviously.
Okay. Yeah.
And certainly not women.
Right. Right. And I love, Melissa, that you're reminding us all several times throughout this show that we have to think about the baby as well.
Yeah,
we need
absolutely.
to think about the baby. We need to think about this person, this human being, this United States citizen who is being, basically has no rights and is being treated.
And we know that we as humans have a history. A horrible history of picking out one part of society and saying, these are unhuman, these are not worthy of protection. And this is happening again.
Yeah.
For years, I always thought, well, what did those people think before slavery, before the Holocaust? Well, I think I know.
Yeah.
I mean, there will come a time where, and this is one of those times. Not only will we all realize how bad this was, but there will be a list of people who said, I stand for the destruction of the preborn.
Right. Yeah, that's so true.
Every person who has signed this petition, their name is in public record forever that they signed this. So if you have by accident signed it, contact Nevada Rights Life and we'll help you get your name off that.
That's great. That's good. That's good to know. And guys, as we get ready to close this up, we want to encourage you to please vote no on any abortion or reproductive freedom amendment that you see come across our bow. Also, you can volunteer on the campaign against this measure. Melissa, why don't you tell us a little bit about, can they call, can they walk? What are some things they can do for you guys that would help?
Absolutely. Well, this is a full campaign, just like whether it was a presidential or an assembly race, that's what we're running.
Okay.
And so this is gonna need a lot of people who are willing to make phone calls.
Okay.
Knock on doors, hand out literature, speak in your churches.
Yeah.
If you're listening today and you belong to a church somewhere in Reno, even Las Vegas, across the state of Nevada, start talking to your pastor and say, because quite honestly, this is David and Goliath.
Yeah.
And this is based on lies. And let's go to the seat of truth. Let's go to the churches.
Yes.
And all of you get educated, get a hold of us, and let's work on this together. Yes. Because I believe the churches united cannot fail.
Yes. Amen. That is such a good word. And I want to remind everybody as well that the Bible calls Satan the father of lies. He loves to get in and deceive and confuse, but we can defeat that with the truth. And so if we come together on this, guys, and for anybody here at our church at Calvary Chapel Reno Sparks, I just want to encourage you guys, if you are interested in getting involved in the campaign against this measure, and you want to call or you want to walk or you want to write letters to the editor, let me know. I'll direct you to Melissa here, and I would love to work with you and support you in that. And I love that you brought up David and Goliath. We know how that battle ended. Yeah. The God of Israel, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was with David as he faced that giant, and he is with us. And guys, he is going to have the final say. And so we thank God for that. Melissa, thank you so much for joining us today. It's a pleasure as always. And God bless you and the work that you're doing. We'll continue to be praying for you.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah.